Welcome back, Sebastian here. Time for my review of the second race of the 2024 Formula E Misano ePrix. So pretty good race, similar to yesterday. Some of the things I thought would kind of come to pass in the second race, things that were a bit different from the first race did kind of occur as I thought. So, but still pretty entertaining race, pretty exciting, and a lot of stuff to go through. So it started with Hughes on pole with John-Eric Vergne alongside. I know Ollie Rowland had joked after yesterday's race that we should probably not even bother with qualifying and just have the race, and honestly I think he's pretty right on that. But it's a clean start. Hughes keeps the lead. By lap 3 the field was already starting to thin out a little bit compared to at that time in the race yesterday. So yesterday the first 15 laps I would say the field was basically constantly bunched together, but today that wasn't the case. Spreading out. Lap 5, DaCosta was up 9 positions, Nato up 5 positions, and Cassidy up 6 positions. So drivers already going up, making moves, and moving up through the field pretty quickly. Lap 7, Fiennes was into the gravel, and that caused a safety car. He was sandwiched, basically caught in a sandwich at turn 12. Just an unfortunate incident on his part, and got front wing damage, and kind of got sent off into the gravel. So short safety car period. The safety car comes in on lap 9. Lap 11, DaCosta gets front wing damage. It was rubbing onto his tire, basically similar to what we saw yesterday with Cassidy and Vergne, and he just went into the back of Bird. So unfortunate incident for yesterday's on-track winner, of course getting disqualified after the race for a very nitpicky reason. Lap 13, halfway through the race, the top 5 at this point were Rowland, Muller, Dennis, Hughes, Vergne and Hughes. Muller, a bit of a surprise, really strong qualifying. Yesterday he fell back through the field after another strong qualifying, but today was able to stay with the lead group. Nato, unfortunately another victim of front wing damage. We didn't see, I think he hit the back of someone, I think at turn 1 or 2, I guess, and got front wing damage, and he was sent to the back, had to pit, but was able to rejoin the race. Shortly afterwards, Vandoorne and Buemi both came into the pits. Buemi, I think, too much damage to continue. We didn't see exactly what happened, but Vandoorne would continue for a bit further. Lap 15, Hughes was 1% down on those around him, so not as efficient as the other cars. Bird then had contact at turn 12. Wasn't any damage there, but kind of gets out of shape, goes through the gravel a bit, and falls to the back of the field. So unfortunate for him. Lap 16, Vergne and Cassidy best on energy at this point, and it was at this point with 10 laps to go yesterday where we kind of saw that DaCosta looked like he was going to have a sizable advantage on the rest of the field for energy, and that's kind of what happened here again today. Lap 17, Evans stopped on track. He was not having a great race after a tough qualifying. Was able to restart the car, but massively down on the rest of the field. Bird then spins at turn 12. So Bird, I think, getting a bit frustrated, allowing his emotions to get the best of him at this point. Not having a great race on track today. Lap 21, Rowland overtakes Vergne at turn 4 for the lead of the race. And when you look at the energy, Vergne had quite a bit more. Dennis had quite a bit more than Rowland. So it was really seen as a surprise that Rowland was just kind of going off into the distance with the energy that he had. Lap 23, Rowland, 3% less energy than Vergne. Dennis looked like he might be in trouble. Cassidy then overtakes Gunther for P5. Cassidy's starting to make moves and move up through the field as his energy advantage kind of bears out on the rest of the field. DeGrassi was given a 5-second penalty for causing a collision. Don't know who that was with. It might have been with the Bird earlier when he went through the gravel. Lap 26, final lap of the race. Rowland, leading the race, basically just comes to a halt, runs out of energy, 0% battery in the last lap. Not sure what happened. The team is obviously not very happy with that after the race. Thomas Volpe, basically the team principal, came on saying that he thinks it was some kind of software issue, because it's highly unlikely that basically the readings that Rowland was basically reading, he would basically end up being an entire lap short of the energy that was required. So definitely something for Nissan to work out what exactly happened there. But Rowland's basically out of this after leading the last 5 races and looking like he could be on course for a double win. So of course Vergne inherits the lead, and as we get to the checkered flag, takes the checkered flag to take his second win of the year, the first to kind of break that streak of a different driver winning every race. Cassidy also nails Muller at the line for P3 there. We get that final spot on the podium. Tough luck for Muller. A podium in the app would have been an absolutely excellent result, but I guess unfortunately not to be. So your result from the second race of the Misano ePrix, Verline takes the win down a second. That's definitely a pairing we've seen quite a bit last couple of years. Cassidy third rounding out the podium. So it's kind of starting to look like the championship battle is starting to get into focus, and a lot of the drivers from last year are in that championship fight. Fourth, Muller, excellent result from him. I think he'll be gutted not to get the podium after coming so close, but still a really good haul of points. And I think it's actually going to be a surprisingly competitive battle for those bottom three teams in the team's championship. Fifth, Fenestraz, good result from him. Sixth, Senikama, again, good points in the ERT. Seventh, Vern. Eighth, Hughes. Ninth, Arugula. 10th, Bird. Just to show how chaotic the end of that race was, Bird gets contact, he spins, and he still finishes in the points. Degrassi 11th, 12th, Gunter, not sure what happened. He finished on the road. Oh yeah, not to mention Arugula gets his first points in Formula E, which is great for him. 13th, Motar, 5th, 14th, Tictum, 15th, De Vries, 16th, Nato, 17th, Acosta, and your retirements were Evans, Roland, Van Dorn, Fines, and Buemi. All guys who are fairly high up in the championship. Now, looking at the championship standings, I think we can kind of build a line between drivers that are going to be in that championship fight and drivers who unfortunately won't be. So for first, Verline, 89 points, tied with Dennis on points, but head on countback because he has 2 wins. Roland third, 80 points. Fourth, Cassidy, 76. Fifth, Gunther, 63. Sixth, Vern, 53. Seventh, Evans, 52. And I think that's kind of where the line for the championship, protagonist really will be. That line kind of between Evans and Bird. I think there's enough of a gap there. Let's see, 14 points, I believe it is. Yeah, so 14 points there. Bit of a gap, and I do feel like those 7 drivers have been performing a bit better than the drivers below that point. So yeah, I think those 7 drivers will be the ones to watch as we get into the second half of the season. 8th, Bird, 38 points. 9th, Hughes, 23. 10th, Nato, 23. 11th, Van Dorn, 22. 12th, Fines, 21. 13th, Buemi on 20. So, of course, last year's team champions in Vision, 12th and 13th in the championship. Of course, the car, in theory, should be pretty good, being the same Jaguar powertrain that Cassidy and Evans have. But yeah, I really feel like the drivers haven't really been delivering that well, and I think a little bit unlucky at times as well. So in theory, they could also be in that championship fight, but realistically, they're already 70 points off. So I think, yeah, unfortunately, too much for them. 14th, Acosta, 20 points. 15th, Fenestraz, 20. 16th, Muller, 18. 17th, Tictum, 12. 18th, Senikama, 11. 19th, Arugula, 2. 20th, Degrassi, 1. And then your Mahindra pairing of Mortara and De Vries at the bottom with 0 points. So there you go, Misano ePrix. First time at the track, honestly, not too bad. Pretty similar to the Portland race we had last year. And yeah, I think it was a pretty good result, pretty good event. I know the racing was a bit chaotic, and I know the drivers aren't such a massive fan of the Peloton style racing, but I think as a fan it's pretty exciting. You don't know who's going to win. Of course, it makes qualifying basically irrelevant, but sometimes that happens in Formula E. And I think with the upgraded cars that we're going to get next year for season 11, having access to the front powertrain, slightly softer tires, I think the racing will be pretty good at a circuit like Misano. So anyway, decent race, and I hope we get it back again next year. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.